Hi, in this session we'll learn how to find the maxima and minima functions of two variables. Okay, so already we have studied how to find the maxima and minima in the one variable case. So how will you find it? Suppose you have one variable function like suppose your function like y is equal to f of x. Okay, so when you draw the curve of the graph, it will be like this one, some curve like this. So you can see that there are some points which are higher than the nearby points. So such points are called the maxima. Okay, so in a graph there can be many maxima, so we call them as local maxima. Okay, so these points are actually at a higher point than the nearby points. So similarly there are other points which are at a lower point than the nearby points, so they are called the local minimum. Okay, so we some textbooks also call them as relative maxima and relative minima. Okay, and you also may have studied about the concept of absolute maxima and absolute minima, where absolute maximum is actually the maximum of all the local maximas and similar the minimum of all local minimas. So we will be carrying over all the concepts which are studied about maxima minima in the one variable case to the two variable case here. Okay, so in other ways it is also called the extremum problem. So extremum problem. Okay, so here you will be find the extreme values, the maximum values and minimum values. Okay, now let us just quickly recap the method which was used to find this maximum and minimum. What was the method which we used to find here? So you used to find the method using the derivatives here. Okay, so suppose you have a function called y is equal to f of x. What will you do? First you will find the critical points. So what are critical points? The critical points are points where the first derivative is 0. So you'll take f dash of x and you will equate them to 0 and you will get a value of x. So such values of x are called the critical points which has the probability of being a maximum or minimum value. Okay, so such points are called the critical points. Then how will you find whether it's a maxima or minima? Then you will take f double dash, the second derivative. You will take f double dash of x. You will substitute that critical point into f double dash of x. Now if it is greater than 0, we will say that the critical point is a minimum, and if it is less than 0, we will say that the critical point is a maximum. Okay, and if it is equal to 0, we will call it as a inflection point, where it is neither a maximum or not a minimum. So this was the concept which I studied in our lower classes on one variable case. Okay, so now we will extend this concept of one variable into the many dimensional case. Here basically we will be dealing only with two variable case. Okay, so this is the idea of the one variable case. So for example, you have a curve like this. So these are the maximum points, minimum points. Okay, so how to find it out? If the first you have to find the critical points by equating f dash of x0 is equal to 0, and if f double dash of x is greater than 0, it will be relative minimum, and if double dash of x is less than 0, it will be a relative maximum. Okay, so that is the idea. Now so these are some examples of this case. So you can see that this function has a relative minimum here. So here there is no maximum or minimum, it is called an inflection point. So no maximum or minimum in this case. Here there is a maximum, here there is a minimum, and again here there is neither a maximum or minimum, because at one place it is increasing, another place it is decreasing, so it's called an inflection point. So these three possibilities can come. So there can be a maxima, there can be a minima, there can be neither a maxima nor a minima. So these possibilities can come in our investigation. Okay, now let us carry over this case to the two variable case. Okay, so what we will do is that suppose we will be given a two variable function. For example, we will be given a function called f of xy. Okay, so the first step is we will have to find the critical points, just like your one variable case. So in the one variable case, how did you find the critical points? You found f dash of x equated it to 0, you found the critical points. But in the case of two variables, you can see that there are two variables are there. So there are two first derivatives coming. So what will you do? First I will take f of x, fx of xy, then I will take fy of xy. I will be getting two equations, and both of these equations I will equate to 0, and solving them I will get the critical points, which are simply xy. Okay, so what is the method? So in the one variable case, it was, since there was only one variable, you will just put f dash of x is equal to 0, then you will get a value of x. That value is called a critical point. Okay, but in the two variable case, since there are two variables, you will have two first derivatives, which is called fx and fy, or in other words, dou f by dou x and then dou f by dou y. And you find the dou f by dou x and dou f by dou y and equate both of them to 0. You will be getting two equations. You solve those equations and then you will be getting a point called xy. Okay, so there can be one point or many points also. Anyway, you will be getting a two coordinate point there. So that points are called the critical points, which has the possibility of being the maxima or minima or something else. Okay, so this is the first step. Now In the second step, when you have to check how this, whether this critical point is a maxima or a minima or some other thing. So what will you do? So similarly, just like your one variable case, you have to take the second derivative. So in this case also, we will have to take the second derivative. But here you can see that since it contains two variables, there are three possible second derivatives. So what are they? One is fxx, another is fxy, and another is fyy. Okay, so you have to find all these three derivatives. So the fx, fxy, and fyy. Okay, and the condition here is that, so suppose here I am not going to prove the theorem. It is not necessary for you. Only the method is needed for you. So the condition is very simple. So if it is if fxx into fyy minus fxy square. Okay, if it is greater than 0, only then the maxima or minima will exist. Okay, so what's the condition? That is, in other words, I'll suppose I'm calling this fxx as some r, if fxy is s, and fyy is t. This is standard notation, r s t. If rt minus s square is greater than 0, only then the maxima or minima will exist. Okay, and if rt minus s square is less than 0, it will not be a maxima or minima. It will be called a saddle point, which is similar to our inflection point. I will show you the graph of a saddle point, which is neither a maxima or minima, because in one place it will be increasing, another place it will be decreasing. Okay, it will be just like a horse saddle. I will show you the picture of that. So if it rt minus s square is less than 0, it will not be a maxima or minima, and if rt minus s square is equal to 0, we can't say anything. Okay, we cannot say whether it's a maxima or a minima or in a saddle point. We'll have to use other methods. Okay, so this is the idea. So first find the second derivatives fxx, fxy, and fyy, and compute this quantity, which is fxx into ffy minus fxy the whole square, or in other words, your rt minus s square. Just think it like this. First you take the derivatives contains only xx and yy. Both have the identical variables here. Okay, so fxx into fyy minus, take the mixed derivative, which is fxy minus fxy square. So that is the idea. So only if rt minus s square is greater than 0, you can find a maximum or a minimum point. Okay, now how to find the maximum point? Now similar to the one variable case, if your r is greater than 0, it will be a minimum point, or if your r is less than 0, it will be a maximum point. Okay, so if your second derivative was greater than 0, it was a minimum point there, and similarly if second derivative was less than 0, it was a maximum point there. So similarly, if your r is greater than 0, it will always be a minimum point, and if your r is less than 0, it will always be a maximum point. Okay, and because of this condition, the sign of always r and t will always be the same only. Okay, so even if r is greater than 0 or if t is greater than 0 also, you will be getting a minimum point. Similarly, if r is less than 0 and t is also less than 0 also, you will be getting a maximum point. Now the condition r is equal to 0 will not occur, because if r is equal to 0, what will happen is that this will become a saddle point. Okay, so that condition will never occur, or either r should be greater than 0 or r should be less than 0. So this is the condition for maxima and minima. So just remember this condition, and then we'll apply this to problems, and then you'll understand it better. Okay, so I'll write down the condition once again for you. Okay, so before that, in the two variable case, you know that your f of xy is basically a surface. Okay, so when it's a surface, you can see that it will be like some points like this. So these are the relative maximum points. Okay, and here there is a minimum point coming out here. So these are basically surfaces, unlike the curves in one dimensional case. Okay, and similar, this is another example of that. You can see that this has a relative maximum here. So this is the idea of this. Okay, so here also there will be a concept called absolute maximum, absolute minimum, which is the maximum of all the maximum. So we'll come to that later. Now we'll try to understand how to find the relative maximum. Okay, so these are the conditions. So what is it? If f of x is a local maximum if this quantity, that is if your rt minus s square is greater than 0, only then you can find the maximum or minimum. And moreover, if your r is greater than 0, it will be a minimum point, and if your r is less than 0, it will be a maximum point. And if rt minus s square is less than 0, we call it as a saddle point. So saddle point is like this one here. So this is an example of a saddle point. If you look at this graph, you can see that there is a saddle point at this position, because at one place it is increasing, but another plane which is decreasing. So in one direction or in one plane this is increasing, in another direction it is actually decreasing. So you can see that this is just like a horse saddle here. Okay, so in the saddle point case occurs if your RT minus S square is less than 0. Okay, and if your RT minus S square is equal to 0, this just cannot be done. You will have to use other methods, but it is not there in your syllabus. So only in your syllabus, only this case of RT minus S square greater than or less than 0 will come. Okay, so this is the idea. Now let us try to do some problems based on this. Okay, I hope it is clear. Okay, so once again, what is R? R is nothing but your fxx, S is nothing but your fxy, and T is nothing but your fyy. Okay, or you can directly remember the formula. Okay, so let's try to do one problem here. So let us find the local extreme values of this function xy minus x square minus y square minus 2x minus 2y plus 4. Okay, so what is your first step? Our first step is actually to find the critical points. Okay, so for critical points, what should you have? You should find fx, fy, and then equate them to 0. Okay, first you find fx and fy and equate them to 0. So what is fx here? Your fx is y minus 2x minus 2. Okay, what is your fy here? Your fy is nothing but minus 2y minus 2, right? So sorry, minus 2y, again there is one x is also there. Okay, plus x minus 2. So this is your fx and fy. Okay, now equate both of them to so now you equate both of them to 0 and solve for y and x. Okay, so first step you take fx, your fx was y. Okay, please do it with me, only then you will understand. Please try to do the problems with me. So it is y minus 2x minus 2, and your fy is nothing but x, okay, minus 2y minus 2. Okay, now equate both of them to 0, so you will be getting y minus 2x is equal to 2. Okay, and you will have x minus 2y is equal to again 2. Okay, now you solve these two equations, what will you get? So it is actually 2y minus 4x is equal to 4 if I multiply this by 2. So what will you get? So when you add them, you will be getting the equations as minus 3x is equal to 6, or your x will be actually equal to minus 2. And what will be your y? When x is equal to minus 2, you will be getting y plus 4 is equal to 2, or your y is also equal to minus 2. So please correct me if I am wrong. I think the points are x is equal to minus 2 and your y is equal to minus 2. So minus 2 is my critical point. Minus 2 is my critical point. Okay, so please correct me if I am wrong. So this is the critical point here. Okay, so let us verify this. So when you solve this, you will get the critical point as minus 2. Oh, so it's correct. Okay, so now we have done the first step. Now you have to check whether this critical point is a relative maxima or minima. For that you need to find the second derivatives. So what are the second derivatives? One is your r, which is nothing but your fxx. What is fxx? Your fxx is actually minus 2. And next is s, which is nothing but your fxy. What is fxy? That is differentiate this with respect to y, that is nothing but 1. And what is fyy? Fyy is you take this one, differentiate with respect to y, you will be getting this as minus 2. So you will be getting this as, so now we are going to check what is rt minus s square. What is rt minus s square? It is nothing but 4 minus 1, which is greater than 0. So there is a maximum or minimum in minus 2 minus 2. Okay, so I hope it is clear. Find the second derivatives, then form the formula with what is the formula? fxx fyy minus fxy the whole square. Okay, so that is nothing but your rt minus s square. When you do that, you will get as actually 4 minus 1, which is 3, which is greater than 0. So there can be a maxima or minima. Now is it maxima or minima? It is a maxima because your r which is minus 2 is less than 0. Therefore your minus 2 is actually a maximum point. Okay, so it's actually a maximum point. And now you can also find the maximum value of f of xy by just substituting this minus 2 into this function. Okay, so I hope it is clear how to find the maxima and minima of a function. Okay, we'll do some more examples, but I hope it is very clear. In the first step, you find the critical points by equating fx and fy to 0. Okay, you'll be getting some points. Then you have to check whether rt minus x square is greater than 0. If it is greater than 0, you will be getting maximum or minimum point. If it is less than 0, you will be getting a saddle points. So in the question they will be asking locate the maximum, minimum saddle points, etc. Okay, so let us try to do some more problems here. So I hope this is clear. So let's try to do some more problems here. Okay, so take this problem, please do it with me. F of x y is equal to 3x square minus 2xy plus y square minus 8y. So for the first step, find the critical points. For that I need my fx. What is your fx? The fx is actually 6x minus 2y. Okay, notice your fy. Your fy is nothing but minus 2x plus 2y. Okay, minus 8. Equate both of them to 0. What will you get? So if I just add them, I'll get, I hope I think, if I just add them, I'll be getting it as 4x minus 8, right? 4x minus 8, or simply x is equal to 2. So when x is equal to 2, I'll be getting it as 12 is equal to minus 2 is equal to y. Okay. Therefore, y is equal to 6. I think it is y is equal to 6. Please correct me if I am wrong. It is. Okay, so my critical points are basically 2, 6. Okay. No, I don't know whether it's a maximum or minimum. For that I have to check whether I have to find second derivative. So what are second derivatives? I have to find fxx. What is fxx here? It is nothing but 6. Okay. And what is fxy? Your fxy is nothing but minus 2. And what is your f by y? Your fy is nothing but again 2. So what is your rt minus s square? That is actually 6 into 2 minus 4, which is anyway greater than 0. So maximum or minima will exist, and also your r is greater than 0, which is because r is your 6. So this point will be a minimum point. Okay, I hope it is clear. Okay, it's very simple thing. So straightforward calibration. Anyway, one question on maximum and minimum will be there for examination. It's very simple. Please try to do it yourself. Okay, and we'll do one more question here. So consider this problem. Please try to do it with me. So it is f of xy is equal to 4xy minus x raised to 4 minus y raised to 4. So first step, remember, find the critical points. So first step, find the critical points. What are the critical points here? Okay, so first you find fx. What is your fx? Fx is nothing but 4y minus 4x cube. Equate them to 0. And similarly fy. What is your fy? Again, it is 4x minus 4y cube is equal to 0. So when you equate, you will be getting it as actually y is equal to x cube. In the second equation, it will be simply x is equal to y cube when you take this on the right hand side. So how to solve this? Can you think of some method here? How will we solve this? So if I substitute the value of y in the second equation, it will be simply x is equal to x cube the whole cube, or simply x is equal to x raised to 9. Okay, I'm just substituting the value of y into the second equation. Okay, so your x is equal to x raised to 9, or simply x minus x raised to 9 is equal to 0, or x into 1 minus x raised to x is equal to 0. So your x can be 0. Okay, then it can be 1, it can be minus 1. So these are the values. There are also other values also, but it will be only complex values. So the real values only are only 0, 1 and minus 1 here. Okay, the rest of the roots will actually be complex, so it is not needed here. Okay, so this is 0, 1, minus 1. So when is x is 0, what is your y? Your y is actually x cube, so your y will be 0. And when your x is 1, your y will be again 1. And when your x is minus 1, your y will be again minus 1. So my critical points are, I am getting 3 points, 0, 0, 1, 1 and minus 1, minus 1. Okay, now let us try to find which of them are the maxima, minima, saddle points, etc. Okay, so what is my fxx, or what is my r? My fxx is actually minus 12x square. This is my fx here, so it is minus 12x square, and my s is actually fxy, so that is again actually 4. Look at this one, fxy. I'm going to differentiate it with respect to y, so it is 4. And what is t? T again is actually fyy. What is that again? That is actually minus 12y square. Okay, so your rt minus s square is actually 144 x square y square minus 4. So this is generally it is 144 x square minus 4 y square minus 16. Okay, so rt minus x square is 144 x square y square minus 16. I don't know whether it is greater than 0. I have to substitute the points here, so don't write it is greater than 0. We don't know whether it is greater than 0. Okay, so when I substitute the first point 0 0 into this rt minus s square, what will I get? I will be getting it as minus 16, right? So because x and y are 0, so when I substitute 0 0 into this equation, it will be simply be minus 16, which is less than 0. That means 0 0 is a saddle point. Very simple, right? It's a saddle point. Okay, and again if I substitute 1 1 into this rt minus x square, what will I get? It will be 144 minus 16, which will anyway be greater than 0. So it can be a maximum or minimum point. So 1 1 can be a extreme point. I don't know whether it is extreme point. So in order to whether it's a maximum or minimum, I have to substitute again 1 1 into this r. So when I substitute 1 1 into this r, I will be getting it as minus 12, which is greater than 0, which is less than 0. That means 1 1 is a maximum point. Okay, it's very straightforward substitution. Okay, and similarly if you look at minus 1, first of all you substitute this minus 1 into this rt minus x square, again you will be getting it as greater than 0, so it can be a maximum or a minimum point, and again substitute this into this r, then you will get again minus 12 into minus 1 square, which is less than 0. So again this is actually a maximum point. So we have got 3 points. This point is the saddle point, and these 2 points are the maximum points. Okay, so that's clear. Similarly, you can try these problems also. Please try to do it yourselves. Very straightforward calculations only. So please try to do these problems as a homework. Okay, so I hope it is clear. So this is the maximum and minima. In the next section, we will be discussing about the absolute maximum and minima and some word problems also. Okay, thank you.